And joining us in downtown is reporter Leif.
That's right, guys. I'm sitting downtown St. Cloud on St. Germain Street where the shooting happened last Friday. And of course, when events like this happen, the one thing that pops in a lot of people's mind is the safety precaution. Fortunately enough, I was able to talk to St. Cloud State Director of Public Safety, Kevin Whitlock, to explain on some safety tips.
Minnesota Axe facility will be opening up this Thursday here in Monticello Movie Theater, where many people have their chance to throw an axe at the target. Authorities are investigating a possible alcohol-related car crash earlier this afternoon in LaCrosse. The incident happened near Dairy Queen on Mormon Coulee Road on the south side of the city. LaCrosse Police Department says one person is being processed for possible OWI. At least one person was injured during the incident. The crash remains still under investigation. Training at KVSC is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Community members are gathering to recognize the sacrifices of veterans, and dedicating ceremony was held at the site of a Hmong Lao Vietnam Memorial at Copeland Park in LaCrosse. During the event on Saturday, it was really nice to see everyone come together as a community and also hear the survivor stories as well. And St. Cloud will continue to host these events in the future years to come.
Yeah, that's right, guys. There's some breaking news that happened earlier today at 3 o'clock p.m. that 3 teams are going to be cut today from our athletic program. That includes football, men's and women's golf.
LaCrosse's interim police chief says he will not be applying to the position left open by his former boss. Rob Abraham said on Twitter that he will not be applying for the police chief position for both personal and professional reasons. This weekend marks the 20th anniversary of the Earth Day run here in St. Cloud State. Many runners will be passing University Drive Southeast here, where they'll take their marks to take off. And this will be the ending of the 5K run for this weekend's Earth Day running event, Friday and Saturday. It'll be an event ending downtown here in St. Cloud. A small Minnesota city is throwing a party with the Big Cats. It's Good View Days this weekend in Winona County. Some events were held earlier this week, but the main festivities started on Friday. Now, students, you may be wondering if there's any requirements. Well, it's simple. Show up at the community outpost, make sure you have your student ID, and just walk through the door.
What are the different options that these student athletes can take after this announcement?
Yeah, the options for students, for the athletes that are here, I mean, they got 2 things. I mean, athletes that want to stay here, the school will honor their scholarships. It doesn't matter whether they're a freshman or a senior. The scholarships will hold for 4 years here for St. Cloud State. And of course, for the athletes that do want to transfer out, they were told as well that the transferring scripts and papers will be released as soon as possible, and the school will be helping the transition be a little bit more smoother for the athletes. And of course, as more information comes into detail, UTVS News will be updating more as the story goes on.
We're trying to create an entertainment mecca for people to come to.
The Monticello Movie Theater has been renovating its building for the last couple of months to help bring in more people. And what better way to do so than with an axe throwing facility?
Sure, we were looking for something unique to provide our guests, to try to bring business back to a theater that we recently remodeled, and we're very excited to bring axe throwing in. It's growing in popularity across the entire United States.
And why the reason for an axe throwing facility?
Because it's a blast. It is so different. Even posting for a job like Axe Master, no one knows what an Axe Master is. It's cool. And we wanted to do something edgy and very, very different.
And different it is, as this will be the first of its kind here in the state of Minnesota.
No, there's no other axe leagues around the area. That's what's so unique about this. We're also part of the National Axe Throwing Federation. We'll be the first axe throwing site in Minnesota to be part of that. And that'll allow us to do tournaments and bring through regional tournaments and things like that to the area.
If you are interested in trying axe throwing for the first time, there will be a free event for this week.
We just look forward to everyone coming out, hopefully this Thursday, for again free movies, free popcorn, and free axe throwing. We really love what we've done to the theater. We stripped it down to the bare bones and created a new entertainment destination. So we encourage everyone to come down and check it out.
Minnesota Axe facility will be opening up this Thursday here in Monticello Movie Theater, where many people have their chance to throw an axe at the target. Reporting for UTVS News, I'm Leif.
studio here, me and Bruce, waiting for your phone calls for pledges.
This week has been a busy one at St. Cloud State's radio station KBSC. And no, it's not Trivia Week, but it's Pledge Week.
KBSC raises its own money year-round to fund the operation. So twice a year we do a pledge drive. So we do a spring drive and a fall drive. And we also raise some money from business sponsors and some grants. So we don't get a direct budget from St. Cloud State for our equipment and operations, so we go to our listeners.
And with this pledge drive, it will help with improving station equipment, air content, but more importantly, to replace an antenna.
$55,000. The goal is to replace an antenna on the top of our tower. Is very old, about 30 years old, as well as the feed line that goes up there, and it's leaking and having problems. It needs to be repaired. This is not a, oh, it's cool that we can spend some money on something. It's not going to sustain. It's not going to last. So we're trying to get out in front of that before it literally dies.
This process also helps students out with their training at KBSC.
Pledge Week also is a really good training ground for our students and community volunteers to express the need of the station, to learn more about the station, and we're training 19 to 22-year-olds how to do some fundraising.
Training at KBSC is as easy as 1, 2, and 3.
KBSC, I mean, down here, yeah, you have the people down here training you, but a lot of it, I appreciate that it's so hands-on. I can't do lectures and stuff like that. I can't just go sit somewhere and have people like debrief me on everything that's going to go down like in written form. Like, this is what you do, this is what you shouldn't do. Like, I really like that. From the first week I was here, I got to come down here and start touching these boards, and I got to actually like be a part of it.
And of course, KBSC wouldn't be here without the sponsors and donations from their listeners within the community.
So important. So I thank you so much to anybody watching who does pledge and who does continue to support us.
Reporting for UTVS News, I'm Leif.
After a little bit of thinking, I said, yeah, I think that'd be really fun. I'd be excited to do that.
Marty Check thought he had his life figured out with what he wanted to do. But after a talk with a friend, his plans changed.
I moved over to a new brokerage in 2011, I believe, and the owner of that brokerage approached me about 2 or 3 years ago to partner with him on a brewery.
After taking some time to think about his friend's offer, it was clear that this is what Marty wanted to do.
I had a passion and a love for craft beer, so he said, you know, this has been something he had been thinking of, and he wanted me to partner with him. And after a little bit of thinking, I said, yeah, I think that'd be really fun. I'd be excited to do that.
Check's love for craft beer came when he came to St. Cloud.
My sister came up shortly after I did and started working at O'Hara's Brew Pub in St. Cloud here as well. And that's where I was first really introduced to craft beer. But you know, my first really deep dive into craft beer had been at O'Hara's.
With all the hard work of finishing up the brewery, it has been an emotional journey for Marty Check.
You know, it's funny, emotionally, it's almost underwhelming. Some of the excitement, over the course of 2 years, some of the excitement just wears off. It just becomes work. So I'm still excited and passionate about craft beer, but sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, there's still so much work to do. We did finally get over that hump of getting all of our inspections approved, and now we're ready to start brewing.